Howdy y'all and welcome back. We're doing cowboy guns this month. And in that spirit, let's talk about the four main categories of pistol shooting in cowboy action shooting sports. And I say main because there are some side categories, and like there's Wild Bunch where you use a 1911. And we're not going to go into all that. This is just the four main styles of traditional SAS, Single Action Shooting Society competition. So the first one and the most common and the fastest, kind of easiest to get into, is going to be the modern two-handed approach. And that is going to be running off of a cross draw rig like this. So your dominant hand has a strong side holster. Your offhand side has a cross draw holster. And you will draw, shoot 5, replace it, twist so that you're not bringing the gun out beyond the 180 degree plane, or like 170 really is what they want you to do. So you kind of have to put a twist on that cross draw. As you pull it, you're going to present 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks something like this. All right, so that's probably the easiest because you have two hands, you have more control over the gun, and you're not really, it's not a two-handed grip the way we think of modern pistol shooting, where you're really compressing in, and it's not so much that. You're still kind of shooting the gun one-handed, but you're operating it with the offhand. And the hand is there, the whole other arm is there to help stabilize you. And so that just helps, you're going to be fastest that way. It's the closest to modern pistol shooting. It's also the real like super purists. They don't totally frown on it, but they kind of turn their nose up at it because it's not period correct. Nobody ran guns that way that anybody knows of. Nobody really actually shot that way back in the Old West. Pistol shooting was a one-handed deal back then, which takes us to Duelist category. And there are two different variations of Duelist. The first one being just Duelist. And so that's going to be drawing both guns with your strong hand. So draw, fire 5, replace it, do that same twist. Draw from your cross draw, fire 5, replace it. Looks something like this. All right, and the third variation is double Duelist, and it is run off of a double strong side rig like this. And in double Duelist, you're using both hands, and I forget the exact rule, but the first gun has to be empty before the second gun is drawn, so you don't necessarily have to put the first gun back in the holster, but it has to be completely fired, all 5 rounds, before you pull with your second. But it would be something to the effect of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then usually they'll replace it, pull the second one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, with the weak hand. Looks something like this. All right, and the fourth and final category is Gunfighter Style, and this is what I shot. The first time I ever saw somebody doing this, it melted my brain, and I was like, oh my God, I have to be able to do that. And so I spent months and months practicing at home doing dry fire, and then I got bold enough to sneak over to the range. And none of my ranges around here allow you to practice this, so I would have to wait until the ROs were like on the other side of the range. And I would pick up the other gun and practice running and alternating the guns, which eventually ends up looking something like that. I'm a little rusty, but you get the idea. And the idea is you double draw and you alternate the guns. There are some exceptions where stages, like if the stage is 1-5-2-4-3, meaning it's 5 steel pistol targets, and the sequence is 1-5-2-4-3, 1-5-2-4-3. If you tried to do that alternating, you would end up like crisscrossing, and so you have to do kind of one gun twice and then one gun twice. But generally, you're alternating the guns. It is slower. It melts your brain. It's definitely the most challenging, but it also is the coolest looking, and you get style points. Well, not actual points, but you get bragging rights or whatever. People will give you just an automatic level of respect if you go out there and even try. And so to me, that was just the most like Hollywood cool looking version. So here's a few examples of what that would look like. All right, and so that's it. The 4 basic categories of cowboy action shooting pistol. Those dry runs were a little rough. Hopefully you enjoyed my struggle. It's been a long time, but you get the idea, hopefully. That's all I got for today. Until next time, be easy, y'all.